So, what really makes a team tick? What's the secret sauce behind true motivation? We often think it's about the perks or the paycheck, but today we're diving into a source called the architecture of unbreakable passion, and it makes a pretty compelling case that the real answer is something way deeper and a whole lot more powerful.
This quote right here, this is the heart of the whole idea. It's a central metaphor. And I want you to think about this for a second. Have you ever felt like that in your own work? That feeling of being super busy, maybe even stressed, but not really going anywhere specific. Like you're just adrift. Well, that's exactly the feeling this source is tackling.
So yeah, let's talk about this rudderless ship. Because when a team or an entire company is missing that spark of passion, it's not just some small thing, it's a huge problem. It's like the ship has no engine, no navigation system. It's just floating, waiting to be pushed around by whatever challenges pop up.
And this really lays it out, doesn't it? It's a tale of two completely different realities. On one side, you have the ship without a rudder. It's adrift, totally reactive to whatever crisis comes along, and ultimately, it just stagnates. But look at the other side. A ship with that rudder of passion is purposeful, it's directed, and this is the big one, it's resilient. It can handle the stormy seas because it knows where it's going.
Okay, so if being rudderless is the problem, then the solution is pretty clear, right? We've got to find our rudder. Or, as this source puts it, we have to build it. This is where we make that shift from just talking about the problem to actually finding the solution. And that rudder, that thing that gives us direction and a real sense of purpose, is passion.
So what do we even mean by passion here? Because it's not just about, liking your job. The source is way more specific. It defines passion as this powerful internal guiding force. It's the thing that takes all that frantic, aimless activity, that just doing stuff to be busy feeling, and turns it into focused, meaningful progress. It's the difference between just treading water and actually swimming toward a destination.
Now, this isn't just some philosophical pie-in-the-sky idea. Nope. This source material gets really practical and lays out a clear two-part framework for how you can actually build this rudder inside a company. It's a real, actionable plan. And the path is beautifully simple. First, you have to truly understand the principle behind it all. You gotta learn what passion really is, where it comes from, and how you can nurture it. And only then can you move on to step two, weaving that understanding into the very fabric of the company. It's a classic 1-2 punch. First you learn, then you do.
So let's dig into step one, understanding the principle. This part is absolutely foundational. You can't just command people to be passionate, right? It doesn't work that way. It has to be cultivated. And that whole process starts with a real effort to learn what it means to connect with your work on a deeper level.
The source actually calls this part a module, which I think is fascinating. It suggests this is a structured learning process. This is the education phase. It's about getting everyone, from leaders to the front line, to understand the why behind what they do and the how of connecting to that purpose. Before you can act, you have to get it.
And that brings us to step two. Once everyone understands the principle, it's time for practice. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is how you take that idea of passion and weave it right into the company's DNA so it becomes part of who you are.
So how on earth do you do that? Well, the source breaks it down into three key pillars, three main areas where you have to integrate passion. It's about embedding it in your company policy, your company procedure, and your day-to-day company practice. These are the three levers you need to pull. Think about it this way. Policy is the high-level stuff, your official mission statement, your company values. Procedure is the nitty-gritty, the step-by-step processes for how you hire, how you manage projects. And practice? Well, that's the culture. It's the unwritten rules, the habits, the way people actually behave. And the key takeaway here is that all three have to be pulling in the same direction. And when you do that, when you successfully integrate passion across all three of those pillars, you're not just boosting morale, you are forging something much stronger, unbreakable commitment. That rudderless ship is suddenly a well-captained vessel. The crew knows where they're going, they know why they're going there, and they feel like a critical part of that journey. I love how this visual breaks it down. Your policy sets the course, it's the map. Your procedures build momentum, they're the engine pushing the ship forward. And your practices are what sustain the journey. That's the culture that keeps everyone rowing together, especially when things get tough. You absolutely need all three.
So what's the final destination? What's the whole point of all this work? It's to create a workplace that runs on what the source calls unbreakable passion. It's a level of drive and commitment that can't be easily shaken by a bad quarter or a tough project. It's building a deep organizational resilience that comes from genuine purpose.
And that brings us right back to where we started with that really powerful metaphor. It's the question we should all be asking ourselves, whether we're a leader, part of a team, or just thinking about our own career. What is the rudder for your ship? What's that guiding force that turns your busy work into meaningful progress? Because finding or building that rudder, well, that changes everything.